Hey everybody, this is Cody922 here. Welcome to Cody Talks Fandom, episode number 51. The best way to follow up a panel episode is to do another interview so I can do more multi-audio editing tracks. And I'm excited to start a new half hundred with this next guest. This is somebody that, from a personal standpoint, was one of the first people that I followed in the fandom directly related to their art for strictly art reasons, because I really love their art a lot. And notably, they do a lot of some cool outfit concept ideas for characters within the show, and even more notably, lots and lots of dogs. Everybody, please welcome on to the show the Queen of the Doge, Mirzers.
Hi. I'm never gonna get away from the dogs, am I?
Not anymore. Like, since I think, and it started like around when I asked you onto the show as well, where all of a sudden you just like, you started drawing nothing but dogs. Like, you've drawn dogs before, I think for... Oh, I forgot to say, the RWBY Art Challenge. That's you.
Yes, that's me.
That is Mirzers as well. I forgot to say that. Whoops. Great intro by me. But so, dogs is more important, clearly.
Clearly.
But even for that, like you did for the favorite character one, you did Zwei, I believe.
Yes, I did.
So, it's like, it's been a thing, like, where you do the dogs and whatnot. But it just so happens to be that when I asked you onto the show, you were just like from around that moment in time, for whatever reason, you just like drew nothing but dogs. Like, you just started like posting on Twitter dog drawings like every single day. And it was hilarious. I thought it was great.
You should have seen me years ago when that was all I drew.
I think that you've come full circle now. I think you're back to that.
Pretty much, yeah.
Dogs and cats. And then you had things from I think it was All Dogs Go to Heaven, right? You drew some stuff from that, right?
No, I don't think I've ever drawn anything from that.
Your style reminds me of that, I think. And I think that's... We're arguing the semantics of what dogs you have and have not drawn. No, you drew... It was Lilo and Stitch and the Aristocats, sorry. I think? Is that the Aristocats?
I know Lilo and Stitch the other day.
Yeah, I see Stitch, and then there's a bunny.
The Brer Rabbit from Splash Mountain.
Okay.
That's what we talk about at work, Disneyland, while we work at a different amusement park.
And then there's a bunch of cats. And I think it's the Aristocats, because one of them looks like...
It was a Shinx from Pokemon.
Oh, is that Shinx?
Yeah, that's my own interpretation of Shinx. But then I drew a cat, like an actual cat, which was a supervisor's cat.
With the Mickey Mouse
Mickey
ears.
hat, yeah.
And then you have Zwei, and then you have Zwei. No, you just have two normal dogs, and then Zwei, then more Zwei, and I don't see any more Zwei, unfortunately. Now it's just pictures of you. So no más Zwei. Anyways, yeah, all of those happened after I asked you onto the show. It was between when I announced it, I think. But you know, you just were like, I'm gonna draw dogs. You just made that decision.
Yep, that's my life.
I mean, there are worse lives to live.
That's true.
All right. Well, apart from dogs, you also do a lot of RWBY art. Sometimes in contingency with the dogs. But you do RWBY art as well. It was why you're on the show. Segueing. So, are you ready? Today we have... I also will say, I cut down on the... I officially now have finally cut down on the permanent questions list, because it was long and there was a lot of questions that I just like cut every single week anyways. So I went ahead and finally cut it down. So your list is slightly shorter than it normally would be, but you have 28 questions today.
That's a lot.
Including 4 viewer submitted ones.
4? I feel so loved.
Quattro. Quatre. I don't know any other languages. I'm out. All right. But are you ready?
I am ready.
How'd you first discover RWBY?
Okay. I think it was shortly after the White trailer, because I know I came in before Black. But I think a friend linked it to me. I'm not entirely sure, but I was into Rooster Teeth before then. And I was just like, I didn't follow their YouTube channel, but I'm pretty sure someone linked it to me and was like, hey, here, I think you'll like this. It's by Rooster Teeth. And I'm like, I do like this. You are correct. And that started the downward spiral.
I like this, like, you'll like this. This is from Rooster Teeth. I do like this. This is from Rooster Teeth? Very, very different to what they have done in the past.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when coming into Rooster Teeth from Red versus Blue.
Oh, yeah.
Like, going from Red versus Blue to RWBY is pretty different, but, you know.
Yeah.
I still love it.
instead of what is it, 8 idiots arguing in a box canyon, now you have 4 girls arguing while on the move.
Exactly.
And that is the difference between RWBY and Red versus Blue. Occasionally there's some more people tossed in there, but it's really just those 4. Actually, let me rephrase. It's really Weiss just arguing with everybody.
Yeah, that's kind of true, yeah.
That's pretty much all it is. Question number 2. What was the first piece of RWBY art you remember seeing?
Oh, that I remember seeing?
Yeah.
God, I don't even know. There's just so many over the years.
There are, but
I mean,
you know, whatever you remember as being chronologically first.
Huh. That's a tough one. I remember all the poster contests. That's pretty much the only like thing I really remember, because that's when I actually made an account on the Rooster Teeth website. Because I was like, oh, I have to make an account in order to join this contest. So from there, I saw a lot of cool ones. I remember seeing like the winners. I remember seeing some of them at conventions too. I was like, hey, you were in the contest and you won. Good job. But I can't remember their names, so sorry, people.
That's cool. I gotta love RT for doing like the poster contests and whatnot. That was cool.
Yeah, it was so great.
It was a lot of fun to see the result. I'm like, whoa, more people who are more talented than me being showcased. This is awesome.
Yeah.
All right, next question. What made you decide to draw for RWBY?
I think, okay, so I've been drawing dogs for a long time. Going back to the dogs. It was kind of like the first thing I started drawing when becoming an artist on the internet or whatever. And I eventually got really, really bored of it. Like, extremely bored. I was like, I don't want to draw dogs at all, ever. And I started going with, like, Pokemon and humans. And then when RWBY came out, I was just like, hey, this is a good opportunity to learn more about human anatomy and blah, 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 blah. And then it went back to doing dogs because of RWBY.
And then they added in Zwei. And you're like, well, fuck.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, perfect.
You can't escape your past.
I can't.
That's really funny. I started doing dogs and I got really bored of it. Then I watched the show and they had a dog. And I was okay with it then.
Damn it.
Caught in the loop. Alright, I'm going to make a rule for this next one. Because it has to be a person.
Oh boy.
Who is your favorite character?
I really like Yang. But I also like Neptune a lot. But mostly Yang.
I don't think I've ever gotten a Neptune before.
I love him. He's so great.
He's such a tremendous dork.
I know, and which makes me love him so much.
Carrie does a great job at being a tremendous dork, and I wonder if that has anything.
Yeah, because at first I was like, Carrie? And I was just like, no, Carrie, yeah, good job. Like, I can't see anybody else doing the voice.
My only memory of Carrie voice acting was Knifel.
I don't even know what that is.
Red vs. Blue, season 9, I believe. I don't know if you got that far into it, but it was when they dropped down Maine from the big building into like the lower floors, and he was surrounded by guards. Mm-hmm. And it was just like, put down your rifle. Is that a knifel? And it was like a callback to an earlier season when they called it when they called something else a knifel. I don't remember what the callback was. That was Carrie.
Yeah, I do remember that. I don't remember it being Carrie, but
that was Carrie. I can vouch. I have an oddly good memory for these things. It's like not like I've just watched. It's not even like I could watch them 100 times or I could watch them once, but I can like recall some odd random things very, very well. And this is one of them. So that was my only other knowledge of Carrie doing voice acting stuff beforehand. But now they're just like, just play the dork.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm just gonna ask if I had not said has to be a person, would you have said Zwei?
No, it'd still be Yang.
Okay. Would Zwei have trumped Neptune then?
No, for the RWBY art challenge, it was kind of like, haha, I'm not gonna do any of the original Team RWBY. I'm gonna do Zwei instead, and because I like cop-outs. But it was mostly because like a lot of people were doing it, so I was like, well, I kind of want to just do something a little bit different than anybody else, so I was like, I'm gonna do the dog.
Next one is the first viewer submitted question. This one is from Knight6831. Which member of Team RWBY needs the most character development in Volume 3, in your opinion?
All of them?
Alright. You did say you like cop-outs.
I would like to see more like Blake development. It's
Okay.
kind of just like I'm angsty and like you kind of know her story, whatever. But she's getting better with the team and opening up more.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then RWBY is just kind of there
Yeah.
at the moment, I feel, and she definitely needs a lot of stuff because like
Yep.
Yang has the mom thing, but RWBY was too young for that. Yeah.
Speaking of characters, which character do you associate with yourself the most?
I really like Yang, but like after cosplaying Velvet so much, it's kind of just like every time I see a picture of Velvet, it's like it's me.
Little bunny foo-foo.
Yeah, because I'm really shy and a bit timid and stuff like that, so I like kind of resonate with Velvet a lot. But I'm also like with my friends, I'm more like Yang, so it's kind of just like that dual thing.
Yeah, you can give 2 answers to this question. I'll allow it. What is your favorite ship?
I like Bumblebee and Sea Monkeys, but Sea Monkeys more than Bumblebee.
All right. Lex would approve. Call her up. Yo, Lex, somebody else answered a member of Sun for favorite character, and they also answered Sea Monkey for favorite ship. You're not alone.
Yeah.
All right. What art/artist did you draw inspiration from?
It's not RWBY related.
They don't have to be RWBY related, so you can just like pick whoever you want.
All right. What does she go by now? I don't know, but I think her Twitter handle's like Ash Ketchum something or other.
Oh, I know.
Look it up. Of course, she's not tweeting right now. But I used to follow her like on my early DeviantArt days when she was Vanilla Kitsune, and now she's Ash Ketchum something or other. But yeah, since I've drawn Ash Ketchum Says, there we go, or Stripes and Teeth on Tumblr. Yeah, so I followed her art for a long time and drew a lot of inspiration from hers over the years, and it's just, yeah, she kept me going a lot.
Next is the next of the viewer submitted questions from And0Barry. Who are some of your favorite artists?
Well, the person I mentioned earlier, Stripes and Teeth.
Mm-hmm.
For RWBY related, or Rooster Teeth related, I have like MissTVHead. Gail Fox.
Do you know that person?
Geometric's pretty great. I met her at RTX, and I was like,
oh, really?
hey. I actually didn't know her beforehand, and I was like, you draw good stuff. Good job. Guarded Belief, also met her at RTX. She's pretty awesome. And Beth Kerner, she's super great with her patch drawings and everything. It's like, oh, you're so great.
Oh, is that who does those?
Yeah.
I love those.
I also, shout out to See You Later guys. They're pretty awesome. Or See You Guys Later. Sorry. My bad.
See you guys later. Is that who I think it is? Yep, that is.
Yeah. Like, my bad. I got it wrong.
How dare.
Okay, there's more, obviously.
Right.
The Asgardian Detective. They're pretty great. They do a lot of like Sea Monkey stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. And also have to, shout out to Team Kaze Hunters for Mimi 19 art. Their RWBY OCs are amazing. I love them all so much. And they just like turn them out so quickly. I'm just like, how do you do this? They're all so like unique and wonderful.
Next one is also from And0Barry. Do you go to school for art?
I did. So I have graduated. I've been graduated for like a year now. But I went to San Francisco State University and pursued an art degree. It wasn't the best experience I've ever had, especially since that school was more geared towards like modern art and especially like traditional media stuff. So there were no like computer courses. Mm-hmm. There's no character design courses. I'm like, that was all stuff that I wanted to do because I'm like, I work mainly in Photoshop. I want to do character design. And there was nothing, so I had to stick with still lifes and landscapes and portraits and all that stuff. But I learned a lot, and it definitely helped me in the long run.
All right. What's your favorite AU?
I don't really keep up with them.
Well,
Sorry.
yeah, you don't have to be like super duper up to date, but
I mean, the first one that comes to mind is the RWBY Rock. And I know Dash has been doing the Guardians one. So I'm like, those are the two I know of. I'm sorry. I think there's some future one. I don't know.
yeah, future AU. That is old school. That is going back. That was Funblade. See, you don't have to like you can just like bluff your way through it and just be like, RWBY Rock, yeah, absolutely favorite one, and just like kept going. I wouldn't have known. They wouldn't have known.
Well, I'd like to be honest about it.
Yeah, but it's not lying. It's admitting truth.
That's true.
See, I'd be a great lawyer. Best experiences in the fandom.
I mean, just having all those people participate in the RWBY Art Challenge was really amazing. Like, there was over 100 people, and that was pretty great, especially, it being June, and that was Monty's birthday month and stuff like that. But RTX, that was a fun experience with the fandom.
Yeah.
It was just like sitting in the RT, or the artists of the RT community panel with Lambency. Oh, by the way, she's a favorite artist too.
Oh yeah. Can't forget her.
Yeah, I was sitting in her panel, and then she called me out, and just like hearing the gasps in the room when they realized who I was, it was just so surreal. Just like the whole experience of the convention was surreal because people wanted to, meet me and take photos, and it's just like, I'm just a little nerd, and when you guys want to meet me, what?
Aside from drawing, is there any other medium you express your creativity in?
Well, I like to cosplay, if that's not evident. But I only recently started like making my own cosplays, which is Velvet was my first one that I actually made like completely by hand, except for the bodysuit that was purchased but then altered. So that's also why she's someone I resonate a lot with, because I spent so much time making her outfit, and I'm just like, I better be like you. Like,
I put blood, sweat, and tears into this.
Exactly. I like to bake too, and I made butterbeer cupcakes for a potluck the other day for work, and they're like, have you considered being a baker? Because you'd be really good at it. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that.
One of your mediums that you said was cosplay. So, from Ann Zero Berry, one more time. Any future cosplay plans?
Well, I have, excuse my language, but a hashtag shitty Weiss is
Did you just say, excuse my language?
Yeah.
You're okay to curse.
Okay.
You're totally fine.
But yeah, hashtag shitty Weiss, which I received at the last day of RTX from Anrild. I went up to her and Sonia and Dan's room, and we're just talking and whatever, and she's like, do you want this costume? Because it's going in the trash. I was like, okay. So I took it. I just bought the wig stuff for it, so eventually that'll come in and I'll style that. Hoping to wear it in November, but we'll see. That's all for right now, but I'm sure something else will come up.
What's your favorite piece of art excluding your own? This is a RWBY fandom specific question.
Oh god, there's too many. I don't know.
Welcome to my life.
Okay, the first thing that comes into my mind is some of Life Writer's Sea Monkeys art. Like, it was kind of like, they look like they're doing like the tango, kind of. I just was like, oh my god, and that's like when I started following them on Tumblr, I was like, you're so perfect.
Alright. What is your personal favorite part about your art?
I'm not a big fan of my art. I just like, in hearing other people like talk about it, like Lambency during her panel was just like, I really like her expressions and stuff like that. I was like, oh my god, I think my expressions are terrible. But everyone's their worst critic.
Yeah.
I think what I like most about my art is that style consistency over the years. Like, I kind of found it early on and, like, held on to it. It was just like, this is good. I like how I do this. Especially, like, the eyes. If you look through all my old stuff, it's very similar. Definitely was like, oh, yeah, that's Mirzers stuff because of her eyes.
All right. Are you surprised by the success of your art?
Oh, my God, yes. Incredibly so. Like I was saying with the RTX stuff and people like gasping and wanting to meet me, like first night, like Thursday night, someone came up to me and was like, "Are you Mercer?" I'm like, "Yes, I am." Like it's just weird because yeah, I'm just so used to going to other conventions that are not specific to one company. So it's like no one knows who I am. Like maybe someone will know during like the RWBY gathering, which someone did. But, you know, it's just like one person. But when you're at a specific convention and like a lot of people know who you are, and like when I met Miles and Carrie and they're like, "Yeah, I recognize your art." And I'm like, "Oh my God."
That's awesome. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I keep losing my place trying to read these.
It's okay.
How often do you encounter creativity block or general lack of motivation, and how do you manage to overcome it and continue creating such great pieces?
All the time, all the damn time. Especially with work, there's like no time. So there's no motivation, no time. But usually to get over that, I just force myself to draw. Just whatever pops out, just go with it. Especially like warming up, you just take like a couple minutes, an hour or whatever, and you just draw whatever comes from your hand. Like don't bother erasing, just put a line and continue working with that line. I don't know. It seems to work for me.
All right. I was going to say, is it drawing dogs? Is that your secret?
Well, of course, obviously.
Just draw whatever comes out. God damn it, it's another dog.
That's exactly. Well, you follow me on Twitter. You know that's exactly what happens.
That's pretty much all that's happening right now. Just laws. I mean, the background even, which, you know. I made the background admittedly look like less appealing color scheme wise with the dogs on the corners just so I could get in the dogs as the joke. Just so that I could get it in there. Or the queen of the dogs.
The queen of the dogs.
Queen of the doge.
Oh boy.
I really hope that becomes a thing.
I hope it doesn't.
I really hope it does. We'll see. We'll see who comes out victorious, the host or the guest. What do you do to get ready to draw?
Well, like I said, I kind of just open Photoshop. Well, if I'm at home, I open up Photoshop and just doodle away. Like, I do not think about it. Because once you start to think about it when you're still warming up, you just start getting really frustrated. And especially, like, when you are, like, do hours and hours of stuff, if you start getting frustrated, just get up, you know, lay on the floor, which I tend to do, or, you know, go do something else. You know, take the rest of the day off and come back to it, because I get frustrated frequently because I'm a perfectionist. I'm trying really hard to stop being a perfectionist, and I'm getting there. But there's some times when it's just like, oh, this face won't look right or whatever. But warming up definitely helps. I've done a couple times, like opening up a figure drawing like websites that just like quickly go through images, and that really helps too.
All right. What are your general thoughts on your art?
There's a lot of room for improvement. I really improved when I took like life drawing courses, and I think I need to like either just step up my game when it comes to going on the websites and looking at that stuff, because I don't do it very often, or going to like actual classes and doing that again, because like I highly recommend going to figure drawing courses. Extremely, like, yeah.
All right. Yeah. What have you learned from your art?
Well, that I draw a lot of dogs, and it seems that I can't escape it. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that.
I really didn't expect that for some reason. Oh, that's really funny. Calm down. How do you manage your time?
Of course, it's like when you ask these questions, it's like, how do I manage my time? I kind of just close everything and make sure I don't get distracted and be all like, okay, I want to get this done within this hour and kind of like set myself time limits. Sometimes it helps, and sometimes I go over.
Okay.
But yeah, for the most part, I get stuff done when I want to.
All right. This next question is one of my favorite questions on the list. If you could work on a piece of art with any other artist, who would it be with and why? 2 stipulations. You cannot have worked with them previously. And 1 in fandom, 1 out of fandom.
Well, I've always wanted to do something with Stripes and Teeth. For like the 10 years I followed her. So that's out of fandom. In fandom, I haven't really done anything like with Lambency. Like we've talked about things, but we haven't like actually done something together, like collaboration wise. Like I helped her with stuff, but
I'm gonna
yeah,
ixnay Lambency. You gotta pick somebody else. I thought it would automatically be ixnayed with my stipulation, but apparently not. So I got to do it manually.
No. Let's see. Someone in fandom. Can it be a Rooster Teeth fandom or just RWBY?
Just RWBY. I'm gonna say that's the way I've done it in the past. I think. Yeah.
I think I'd like to do stuff with Miss Nerdgasm. I think she seems pretty cool.
I can hook you 2 up. Yeah, Lex is super chill. All right, that's good. That's fair. Who? Just out of curiosity, you said Rooster Teeth fandom. Did you have somebody else in mind?
I would love to work with Gale Fox. She's really awesome. Or Guarded Belief. They're both amazing.
That's fair. All right. All right. Next question is definitely one of the more serious questions on the list.
Oh boy.
Pancakes or waffles?
Oh god. Okay, so I am apparently called the Pancake Queen in RT NorCal, which is our Northern California Rooster Teeth group, which I founded. So I'm gonna have to say pancakes.
All right. And in the same spirit, cake or ice cream?
I'm not a big cake person,
Really?
so ice cream.
I don't know if you're the first person to say ice cream. I feel like I get a lot of cake.
I like baking cakes, but not necessarily eating them.
All right. Next question, though, is actually my favorite question that's on the list. I'm going to remove art. I'm going to remove Zwei. And I'm going to take away the RWBY art challenge as well. What do you think your reputation is within the fandom?
Good, I hope. I mean, taking all those away.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not very many people talk to me, so I don't know if anyone has I don't have a reputation outside of the things that you said that can't be mentioned.
Well, it's just like, those are basically the way that works is like, those are things that cannot be like, oh, Mirzers, she's the lady that did the art challenge. She's the one that draws all the character designs. She draws Zwei all the damn time. Those are like the things that like it's basically not allowed to do that, but like what would they go to as well? Like what wouldn't people think of when they see your name? Good is a good answer though.
Well, after RTX, there were quite a few things with my Velvet cosplay. I heard, like, at the con that I was, like, the canon Velvet or whatever. I was just like, okay, calm down.
Calm down. That's Katie.
Yeah. So maybe the cosplay with Velvet? I know at least Carrie kind of knew me from my Lady Neptune, which was cool. So, I don't know. I guess the RWBY cosplay is what my final answer? I don't know.
Normally I'd take that away from you as well, but I'm going to be nice today. What is the question you get asked the most?
I don't get asked questions. No one talks to me. I'm so alone.
Well, I'm talking to you right now.
That's true. I guess all the questions that you asked me.
I asked you 26 questions up to this point. 27 now.
Let's see. A lot of people ask me what I use to draw.
That's a valid answer.
Basically it. Yeah. It's like Photoshop CS5.
The last question though. What is the biggest piece of advice you can give aspiring artists?
Look at references. Google that shit. Like, all right. With my dogs. Back to the dogs. Yet again. Never looked at references. Like, would occasionally look at other artists' stuff. And it just, the anatomy was horrendous. But back in the day, that was a good thing for whatever reason. But like once you start using references, you see a lot of differences in your art. Like it gets more accurate, obviously, but it just looks so much better because you can have someone who's so good at drawing but really crap at anatomy, and you're like, this would be so great, but your anatomy is not great. So I would recommend looking at Google Images, just referencing everything you can. Like it is okay to reference. Like you could say that you reference stuff, and like occasionally I'll take pictures of myself for pose references because I just can't get it right on my own. Like it is okay to ask for help and get those references.
All right.
And also take life drawing courses. Just do it.
All right. Well, that is a good and a really good and a really legitimate answer to that question.
Yay.
So that's also not one that I've gotten before. So congratulations, you are the first.
Hooray! I did
First. So we talked about a lot of people. I'm lazy. I'm not going to link everybody. So is there anybody specifically that you would like to be linked in the description below?
Lambency.
Lambency. All right.
I would go with. I mean, you don't have to link Soulfire. I mean,
yeah, she's already had a whole interview to herself.
Yeah.
Don't want her to get that idea.
We can link Anrild, the person who made the shitty Weiss, and also who does all of Casey's costumes.
Oh. Casey Williams for
Casey
those
Williams.
Confused.
Yeah. We could do MissTVHead. She's pretty awesome. And Guarded Belief.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go with those.
All right.
I don't know how many want to link, so.
Well, I make you send me all the links because I don't know where I can find them, so it's really up to you.
Oh, wait. I totally have to do a shout out to Team Victoria for making my awesome OC weapon.
Oh, yeah, that just happened today.
Yeah, I love that so much.
Shoutouts to them. They're Team is that how it's pronounced, Team Victoria?
It's pronounced, yeah.
Yeah, I just saw it on Twitter. So, shoutouts to that person. I just like went to I just now went to your Twitter and I see your tweet, so I'm just gonna favorite and quote that right now. And I'm gonna make it pretend like it actually hasn't happened yet, like I'm not bad. All right. How do I phrase this?
Like, be afraid. Be very, very afraid.
Be afraid. Be very, very afraid. Boom. All right, done. All right. Well, that is it for the questions list and for the shoutouts. I want to give another thank you to Mirzers for coming on to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was cool to get to know you, and I enjoyed staring at your alpaca stuffed animals.
Yeah, my face.
All of the alpacas. Just a Skype icon, and I'm not going to link it or anything unless you link me to it. But
it's on Tumblr somewhere.
I'm not going to sort through that. Enjoyed staring at that for an hour. I'm going to really, really enjoy having such a short interview to learn how to edit with Premiere. But that's going to conclude this episode of Cody Talks Fandom. We are starting our new trek to 100. We're 50 in, and now we're at 51. So the next interview that I have scheduled out is the wildcard interview. I'm really, really excited for the wildcard interview, which basically, for those of you who are unfamiliar, wildcard just means I do whatever the fuck I want to. I can invite anybody, absolutely anybody, onto the show. I have somebody specifically in mind. I do need to ask them still. The next episode is going to be a roundup episode for the fanon interpretations that I didn't get to yet. So basically, I covered all of the major ones already, from all of Team RWBY, Jean, Pyrrha, Neptune, Sun, and then Roman and Cinder. And so now I'm just going to give bullet point highlights for people that I think are deserving of it, that are left in the show. So like Nora and Ren have bullet points, just for an example, you know, and I think that most people can probably guess what those bullet points are at this point. And so that's going to be what episode 52 is. But then I am going back to I'm probably going to be going back to either panels or having guests on to speak on certain subjects after that. So that format will return for episode 54, not episode 52. But of course, episode 53 is going to be another interview. So look forward. So keep your eyes out for that. But otherwise, I will see all of you the next time. Bye.